What's up, y'all? Ian, Helltown Barbell. Just finished with my upper day here, my first upper day of the week, and I got to thinking about the bracing that we're always promoting here. Not just us, it comes from everywhere, but for those of you who may be just starting out, you're going to find it difficult to get the right bracing position. And there's one thing about that I really never hear anyone talking about. And I was thinking about this, how to kind of promote this idea better of how to get stronger under the bar, promote proper form and all of that stuff. And there's a kind of a side effect of bracing that's not really talked about, and that's strengthening up your core. I'm going to be using a couple of keywords here. Those of you who've been hanging around the page for a while know I hate using keywords because it's what your local gym bro, fuckboy always throws out to you to kind of show that he thinks he knows what he's talking about. Anyway, these keywords are core, and the second one is isometrics. Those of you who don't know what isometrics are, it's just basically static holding in position or a weight in order to gain strength in a certain area of the lift. It could be isometrics, could be barbell curls where you're just holding it like that, you know, holding the barbell. On deadlifts, we'll put a pin up here in the rack where we're pulling up against the pin and holding it as hard as we can for a certain period of time. Anyway, isometrics is basically just holding a weight or pushing against a weight. And when we're always talking about bracing, whether it's in the bench press, squat, deadlift, I've been really kind of hitting this hard lately. One of the key aspects that kind of gets forgotten about when you're talking about that is that isometric hold during your brace. Whether you're in a squat position, you're here and we want you to throw your rib cage down hard as you can and pushing it down while you're pushing air out into your stomach. Same with the bench. When we're unracked, we are shoving our shoulder blades down and holding that position. It's basically the same thing. Same with the deadlift. When you get down here, you want to shove your shoulder blades down the same way. And then you pull. The basic premise is the same. We're trying to get everything up here as far down as possible, and we're doing it fully contracted. We're pushing down as hard as we can while we're pushing air down in that way as hard as we can. And what that's accomplishing is a couple of things. Number one, it's stabilizing your entire internal structure right here. You don't have any of the organs all loose, sloshing around. You're not going to be bending your back and bowing out. That's how you're going to get hurt. But that benefit, the kind of side effect of that is you are isometrically holding all of this structure in, all of your core muscles, your abs, your lower lats, your obliques, all of that stuff, your internal structure, it's all getting scrunched down and contracted at the same time, and you're holding it for time while you perform your lift. That's an isometric static hold. That's all it is. Now, you have to be able to brace correctly to move big weight. But the benefit of bracing correctly is that your bracing muscles get stronger over time, allowing you to add more weight. So, those of you who know me know I'm a form Nazi. I work on form more than anything. I don't care how much you squat. I don't care how much you bench. What I want to get you into doing is patterning yourself in correct movements, correct musculoskeletal, whatever patterns in your lifting, so that you can always apply that moving forward and get stronger over time. That's all this is. It's just a game with time to get stronger over time. And bracing correctly as hard as you can through your movement is also building up strength over time through an isometric static hold. Now, you're going to see trainers out there or coaches are going to be actually programming static holds into your programming, into your routines in order to move past a sticking point or something. They're going to say, I want you to do this isometric hold in this exercise for this, for this long. All bracing is just that. It's just that I've never heard it actually explained this way, so I want you to start thinking about that moving forward. If you are bracing correctly in whatever movement you are, squishing this all down as hard as you can, stabilizing your internal structure down here to perform a press or a push or a pull, what you're doing is you're building strength in that area. The strongest lifters you see in the world have the strongest midsections you're ever going to see. That's because they're constantly bracing against weight, constantly isometrically holding that position against weight. And again, that weight increases over time because you get stronger over time. That means your bracing is going to get stronger automatically. That's what we call, we'll get into that. But I just want you guys to think about that again. It's not just for power lifters. It's not just for strongmen. It's not just for Olympic lifters. It's for everybody. I always tell people whenever I start working with them, you control the weight. Don't let the weight control you. And part of that is keeping your entire core structure, this whole area, as tight as possible, no matter what exercise you're doing. If you're going to be doing overhead dumbbell extensions, this needs to be strong and tight, or else your body's going to be flopping around all over. Deadlifts, whatever it is, this has to be strong and tight. It's got to be compressed. You've got to have air in there. You've got to have everything put together really strong. So just keep that in mind moving forward. We don't talk about bracing for bracing's sake, just to perform a deadlift or a squat or a bench. It has meanings and it has benefits that aren't really talked about, and that's one of them. Just by bracing correctly, you're going to develop a stronger core, a stronger lower midsection, and all that stuff's going to work together over time to get you stronger. So that's it. Let me know your thoughts. As always, if you have any questions, hit us up. We're happy to answer any questions at any time. Stand strong, y'all. Peace.